Amen. I am a one. Amen. I am a one.
Preach.
Amen. For a good copy, we want to kind of touch on the fact that he has risen and now is your time. Amen. God has risen from the grave and now is your time.
All right.
Amen. Just a little bit of history. Amen. Joshua, we're not going to go too far deep into it, but Joshua, he was a man servant under Moses. Amen. And Moses was a man chosen by God to lead his people from Egypt into the promised land of Canaan. But as we all know that Moses was not allowed to make it over into the land of Canaan because of his disobedience. Amen. God told him to do one thing, amen, and he chose to do it on his way, on his terms. So at this time that God gave Joshua the commandment in the first book of Joshua, we find that he names Joshua as his servant. He is a replacement now of Moses. Amen. And they're on the edge of the promised land they've been trying to get to for the last 40 years. And we find that this generation that's at the edge of the promised land is the second generation. The first generation, they complained and they mumbled and they grumbled and they had so much mouth, amen, that they caused death and despair and desolateness to themselves, amen. So they all end up dying out in the wilderness. But this second generation that God had birthed out of them, amen, it was the land, amen, that was promised unto them. The land was promised unto their fathers. Amen. So now we find that Joshua is going to lead them over into the land of Canaan. And they have to cross the Jordan River. Amen. But God said once you cross the Jordan River and enter into the land, I want you to, there's going to be some type of opposition. How many of you know every time God gives you something, there's always going to be coming in your way trying to stop you. But God says that as I was with Moses, so shall I be with you. Amen. He was my manservant and now you are my manservant. And there was nothing that Moses lacked, so therefore there will be nothing that you shall lack. I shall not forsake thee, and I shall be with thee, amen, until the end of your life. Amen. See, the people, amen, that Joshua set before, amen, they had so much to say, but God came to them, amen, with a loud voice, and he instructed them that no matter who is leading you, amen, so long as I am with you, everything is going to be all right. Amen. So that kind of calmed the people down. That kind of gave them a little bit of ease. But when they got over into the land of Canaan, it seems as though they started to doing things that God told them not to do. Amen. They started, amen, to fight the people. But, amen, the very people that they were supposed to kill, amen, they start mingling with them. They start becoming friends with them. They start, giving high fives with them and having conversations with them. Amen. They start taking advice from them. Amen. And then they started marrying them. And once they started marrying them, they started listening to the teachings, amen, of their idol gods. And once they started listening to the teachings of their idol gods, they became involved in stuff such as adultery. And after that, amen, they just was compromised from then on. Amen. They was compromised from then on. But Joshua continued to teach, amen, the word, amen, of God that he had given unto him to teach the people. Amen. We want to talk about from the subject, I am a one. And one is something that is singled out. And one is something that is by itself and all alone. Amen. You know how it is to be a one, because when everything is going good, you got so many friends. Amen. But you let the storm come a little bit. It's raining in your life a little bit. You have like a buggy walking, amen, on the stormy seas. And it seems as though that no one is there. Amen. You are all by yourself. And you are just a one. Amen. But see, it's time that the women and the men of God and the children of God step up and be one on their own. Make a choice to be a one. God has risen. And now it's your time. All right. Amen. God came down here on earth as a one. He walked through the journeys as a one. Amen. He taught as a one. He healed as a one. He went on the cross as a one. He died for us as a one. He got up out of the grave as a one. And he has risen as a one. Amen. And now it's time for you to rise as a one. Amen. You've been down in the group too long. Hiding in the background. Amen. Compromising the world. You have gone doing things, amen, just to fit into the crowd. Amen. You say, you know, it's not significant unto God, so I think I might can do this and get away with it. But it's time for you to rise up and be the one that God is calling you to be. Amen. On this evening, amen, Joshua was the one. He was the one that led the people. He was the one that God set above them. He was the one that he led the word, that he gave the word to. He was the one that he gave the commandments to. And on this evening, God set you aside as a one. You was born here by yourself. Amen. You go through trials and tribulations by yourself. You get up in the middle of the night crying by yourself. Amen. You try to call that friend on the phone. They say, you know, I got to go to work. You got to get off my phone. Amen. And I can be a testimony because I said it myself a couple times. Don't she know I got something to do in the morning? She need to work it out on her own. Amen. You are a one when you're going through. Amen. Why not be a one when you're standing up for God? Amen. God has risen. Amen. Now it's your time. Amen. See, Joshua, amen, was a great manservant. He was a great strategizer. Amen. He even went into the city, amen, as one of the spies to allow Moses, amen, to bring the people out of Egypt. So God knew what he was doing when he set Joshua in front of these people. He knew what he was doing when he gave Joshua the commandments. As with you, he knew what he was doing when he called you out to be that pastor. He knew what he was doing, amen, when he called you out to be that mother. He knew what he was doing when he asked you to be that secretary, amen. And he's asking you to stand up, amen, and be the one for him on this evening. Amen. But so many times we have things in our way when we can't be ones. Amen. We got to be twos and threes and fours and fives and sixes and groups and my friends and me. I can't never call you to do something because Sister Sally Sue always got to come with you.